Welcome to the Wed Pro Podcast, the podcast for Wed Pros no matter their stage. We are your hosts, Katie and Roxy, and this is the Wed Pro Podcast. Hello, my love. It is Roxy here. I hope you have got a brew, a Diet Coke, or something stronger if it has already been one of those weeks. I am here recording this podcast episode solo today. Katie doesn't even know that I am doing this. So let's hope she doesn't try and get hold of me whilst I'm doing this recording. But I wanted to sit down and record this because honestly, over the last few weeks, I have spoken to a lot of wedding business owners. Like a lot. My diary has been rammed to the rafters, full of Zoom chats, coffee chats, calls squeezed in between school runs, and it has basically felt like running a mini call centre from my office, which I've actually really loved. But you know the vibes, right? Kids interrupting in the background, me trying to look like I've got my life together, while secretly hoping the camera isn't picking up the chaos behind the screen. And actually, if anybody has spoke to me this week, they will have seen my office is rammed to the rafters full of WedCon bits and bobs. I have got boxes and boxes and boxes of the stuff. And for those of you that are coming to WedCon, it is coming around super fast and we are so excited. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about today. People that I've spoke to over the last few weeks, gosh, it must be nearing 100. Bless my little voice, right? But the interesting thing was this, okay? Different people, different age gaps, different types of businesses, different parts of the UK and actually around the world. And what I saw and heard and spoke about were similar struggles across the board, the same 3 struggles actually, over and over again. So I thought, you know what? Right. We need to talk about this properly because helping wedding suppliers get unstuck is what we are about. As you know, it's the reason this podcast exists and it's the reason our business exists. And with engagement season coming up, this is the best time to tighten things up, sort out your bits that you've been avoiding and feel more settled going into January because the stats say that January in the wedding industry is the month that the most wedding contracts get signed. So I wanted to talk to you about the top 3 struggles that I have seen from speaking to hundreds and hundreds of wedding pros. In fact, you know, I've been talking to wed pros now for 6 years and quite often it's the same struggles. But I'm thinking if these guys that I'm talking to are feeling this, then there's going to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of more feeling the same. So let's get into the top 3 struggles I am seeing everywhere right now. But not only that, also how you can fix them fast. So get your notepads, get your pens, and let's go. Right, struggle number 1, and this is the big one. It's no plan and no structure and just winging it and hoping for the best. And honestly, nearly every call had the same moment. Someone leaned in and they'd quietly say, I actually don't feel like I know what I'm doing day to day. I just do stuff. And it is that case of my favourite saying, throwing the spaghetti at a wall and hoping to see what sticks. And I want you to know as well, if you sit in this group, it is super common. The people I spoke to this week have told me things like, I feel busy all the time, but I've got no clue what I have actually achieved. My brain feels scrambled. I don't have a plan for 2026 and I'm just reacting to everything in the moment. One person even said, I feel guilty when I'm working. And also I feel guilty when I'm not working. And I've sat in that camp as well. And it is not very nice. So if this is you, just breathe, okay? Just breathe for a moment. You're not behind, you're not failing, and you're not the only one. The truth is, most wedding suppliers think the answer is to work harder. But the problem is not the effort that you're putting in. The problem is the direction. You end up chasing random tasks, fighting fires, answering messages, posting because you feel guilty, tweaking things for the sake of tweaking. And I know you're nodding along out there. And at the end of the day, you're feeling exhausted, but unclear what moved the needle. And here's a few things that will change that for you and that you can take away from this recording and implement in your business. We only tell you things that are going to make a difference. So listen up. Your business needs a simple plan, not a fancy one, not a 45-page document, just 3 main tasks for the week and one 90-minute CEO block each morning before you do anything else. And that block is for leads, content, inquiries, follow-up, and growth work. It is not for admin. It is not for Canva tinkering, please. Not for moving buttons around on your website that no one will ever notice. And let's be honest, if you spent yesterday adjusting the space between 2 icons on your homepage, that's not a strategy, is it? That was probably avoidance, right? And we've all done it. Being busy fools, thinking we're doing things that are going to make a difference, and they don't. A simple plan beats a busy brain every single time. If you only take one thing away from this episode, let it be that. So you need to pick out 3 main tasks for the week, write them down, and then one 90-minute CEO block each morning. And in this 90 minutes, you're going to focus on the things in your business that are going to move the needle forwards. Chasing leads, content creation, inquiries, follow-ups, and even growth work counts as CEO work. It's so important to factor that 90-minute into your business. It will make such a difference. I absolutely promise you. Okay, struggle number 2. This is all about messy messaging and unclear ideal client work. I honestly say ideal clients probably 400 times a day. And that's not even an exaggeration. I'm like, oh no, I need to say that word again. I need to ask them about ideal client because this is feeling like it's unclear to them. Every single person that I speak to needs to get clearer on their ideal client. This one is massive. And most of the time, people don't realize it's the root cause of their inquiry problems. A lot of people on my calls say things like, I'm getting inquiries, but they're not the right fit. I'm getting ghosted. I'm attracting those sorts of people who want cheaper options, the price shoppers. I'm doing loads on socials, but nothing is landing. And every single time when I look at their websites or their content, their messaging feels vague. It's not speaking to the couple that they actually want to attract. And sometimes web pros don't even know what couples they want to attract. So if you sit in this camp, you need to really work out who it is that you want to work with in your wedding business, because you get to pick. The clients don't get to pick you, you get to pick them. But messaging very often can feel safe when I look at websites, too generic, and it's trying to appeal to everybody. And we've said this before, when you try to speak to everyone, you're going to attract no one. And here's the truth, right? If your messaging is vague, you will attract vague inquiries. If your messaging is safe, you're going to attract price shoppers. If your messaging is confused, couples will be confused too. Most people I speak to have done ideal client work, but it's only surface level. Their car, their job, their favorite coffee order. I mean, that is great and that is part of it. But in the wedding industry, we can do it a little bit better. We want you to define your ideal client by their wedding. So picture the wedding you want to be working at. What was that wedding when you decided to start your business? You must have had a vision of that wedding that you would love to work. That's your ideal client. And I want you to stand in the middle of their venue in your mind. Look around. Where are you? What does that space look like? How much is being spent? What feeling does it have? Is it a big venue, a smaller venue? Is there a big cake, a little cake? What kind of venue is this? What does the couple value? Who's in that room? What other suppliers are there? Is it an outdoor venue? You really need to get to that level of clarity. Because then you can open your Instagram or your website and then ask yourself one simple question. Would that couple recognize themselves here? If the answer is no, that's why they're not inquiring. And let me say something with love, okay? If you're aiming for high-end couples, but your website looks like it was built on a Nokia 6210, we need to fix that. Do not undersell yourself. When your messaging is clear, aligned, and specific, something amazing happens. The right couples lean in, the wrong couples walk on. And that's okay. And that is the real goal. We want to either repel or attract. We want to repel the couples that are not our ideal client and truly attract the ones that are. Before we move into the next one, I want to let you know about something we offer every week that might help you if you're listening to this and thinking, yep, this is me and I really need some guidance. Each week, I open a small number of free one-to-one strategy calls. These are short but powerful sessions where we look at your business, not general advice. And I give you 3 clear pointers you can take away and put into action right now. These calls are not fluffy chats. They're focused on it and designed to help you get unstuck fast. If you want a bit of personalized direction or you want to make sure you're on the right track before engagement season hits, this is a perfect place to start. Spots are super limited, but if the link shows a space in my calendar, grab it. It's in the show notes, so go and check it out right now. I'd love to help you get moving in the right way. Okay, let's get back to it. Number 3 is the lack of nurture systems and long-term lead flow. And this is the one that creates the scary dips, the weird quiet patches, and that sudden panic of, why has no one inquired in 2 weeks? Most wedding business owners only market to couples who are ready to book right now. And that's just 20% of our market. Everybody else is ignored. And this is why the months can feel up and down. So you've got a good month one month and then a silent month the next, because you have nothing warming couples up behind the scenes. What about that 80% who aren't quite ready to book yet? What are we doing to nurture them until they are ready? So this is the fix for this. And it can be game changing, actually. You need a simple lead magnet. So something short, helpful, and relevant. So a lead magnet is almost like the carrot that we're going to dangle in front of your ideal client to attract them into your world. It doesn't have to be long, 5-6 pages on Canva. There are lots of lead magnet templates, so go and have a little look at that. We don't want a 45-page document. Yes, I have seen even longer than that, actually. I think I saw like a 98-page lead magnet once. Nobody's reading that. But this has just got to be something that your couple actually wants to grab. So quick guide, like common mistakes, questions to ask, how to plan something specific, anything that helps them on their planning path. And it doesn't have to be 100% related to what you do in the industry. But what's great about the couples is they're planning a whole wedding. So as long as it's super helpful to your ideal client, then it's going to be helpful to them. So what you need to do is put that behind a form. They get the guide, you get their email, and you're now in control of that lead instead of hoping that they remember you. Then you need to come up with some nurture emails. So maybe around 4 or 5. So welcome email, something of value, something that gives inspiration, and a soft invitation for them to reply to that email rather than directing them straight to book with you, because these people are not quite ready to book. And what your game here is you're trying to nurture this set of people so that when the time comes for them to want to book your service, they go, I know who we need to have a chat to, because their emails are super helpful. Think value up front with this. And they don't have to be super long either. So short, friendly, helpful emails work well. No long essays, like I say, no hard sells, not book me now or miss out, just little touch points that build trust. And this is called an email marketing system. We help all of our clients set this up who come and work with us, because it is such a valuable tool to nurture that 80% of couples who are not quite there yet. What a huge amount of people that we are not tapping into right now, guys. So we need to get this set up. But once this is set up, your business is nurturing future couples while you sleep. It's all automatic, and this is why we love it. And this is where consistency comes from. This is where calm comes from. And this is where you stop relying on luck. Before we round up, I did want to talk to you about something that came up on nearly every call as well. confidence wobbles. I get them still, and Katie gets them still. It is a common part of running your own business. I hear all the time, actually, I'm comparing myself to others. I feel behind. I feel not good enough. I don't feel like my work is as good as everybody else's. The industry is a loud place to be. Socials are a loud and busy place to be. And people can look like they are smashing it, but behind the scenes, so many are feeling exactly the same as you are, but you see a tiny amount of what's actually going on in their business on socials. Obviously, they're not going to put things like, I don't have any bookings, things are really difficult right now. That's not what they're going to post. So you only are seeing a tiny snippet of what's going on in their business, and you don't know the behind the scenes of this. But please know this. So if you've doubted your prices, if you've questioned whether you're good enough, if you've had a slow month and spiraled, please hear this, okay? You are not alone and you're not doing it wrong. You just need a bit of structure, some clarity, and some support around you. Right, okay, let's round this up with 3 simple action steps for the week that you can take. Number 1, pick 3 main tasks for the week and protect your 90-minute CEO block each month. If you can, block that in your calendar in advance. If you can't do the full 90 minutes straight away, 30 minutes is better than no minutes. So if you need to start smaller with that time frame, absolutely do that. But the point is to block it out in advance, no calls, nothing else in your diary, turn your phone off and do CEO work in your business. Okay, number 2. Write down the details of your last 5 dream weddings and use that to refresh your messaging so it lines up with the couples that you want to work with. Number 3, start your lead magnet. It's engagement season. People are planning their weddings, so this is a good time to get this set up. It's worth noting as well, this does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be helpful and done. Canva has so many templates. Type in lead magnet in the search bar in Canva under their templates. Go and have a look. Loads there. And if you do these 3 things, you are going to step into January feeling clearer, calm, confident, and ready. If this episode has helped you, send it to a wedding friend who needs to hear it. Don't forget to follow the show as well so you don't miss the next one. And I will speak to you very soon. And if you are coming to WedCon, I will see you in a couple of weeks. Until the next episode, guys, take care. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Wed Pro podcast. Full transcribes of this episode, plus every other episode we have done, are available at www.theweddingbusinesshub.com/blogs. Thanks so much for listening. If you do have any questions about this episode or anything else at all, you can email us at info@theweddingbusinesshub.com. And if you are loving our episodes, which I know you are, make sure you hit the subscribe or follow button so you can stay updated with any new episodes that land. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode.